Hey, welcome back, DJs. Appreciate you being here today. Happy 2025. Happy New Year's to you and your family and your loved ones. In this episode, we'll be talking about how you guys can create more opportunities in 2025, being booked more as a DJ, being able to travel more as a DJ, and being able to do those cool things that you have on your bucket list. I'm excited to be here today with you guys. 2024 was epic. Definitely my best year that I had as a DJ in my 5 year career. And I'm excited in 2025 to be able to make more noise and be even more louder than I was last year. Um, a lot of you guys asked or mentioned to me that, in 2025, you're really focused on creating more opportunities for yourself. And in this episode, I wanted to just talk to you guys about a few things that I know that help me to create more opportunities in the DJ world, that allow me to be more booked, allow me to generate more revenue, to provide for my family, um, and being able to, again, just be busy. I do not like doing gigs once a month. I like being busy, especially when I'm passionate about DJing. So again, in this episode, guys, we're just going to talk about a few things that's going to be helpful for you and you growing your DJ career. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
DJ D Smooth.
So the first thing that I will mention there is definitely learning how to communicate. Communication is key. We already know that. It's harder to actually do that than just say it. But communication certainly is key when you're talking to your clients. You have to have verbal communication that's clear for them to understand. You don't want to sound like everybody else that approaches, your clients or your promoters or whoever you may be talking to. It's important to sound different, important to be different. Most important, just be yourself. But if there's some things to work on yourself, communication is something we always should be working on. So I would recommend definitely learning how to talk the correct verbiage, aligning your words correctly, um, taking notes. This is super important. Had a great phone call with a wedding potential client yesterday, and I have a page full of notes based on our conversation, just asking detailed questions about the event, and yeah, being a great listener, which basically comes to my next point. If you're communicating, that's great. You know, I'm sure you probably have some accolades underneath your belt, but that's not what your client is more focused on at the moment. They just want to be heard. So it's important to be a great listener. This is probably what's going to land you most of your gigs. Surprise. Yeah, being a good listener is super helpful. I'll ask a great question to a client, such as this is from my phone call yesterday. Um, how many people are you having at your wedding? And they simply told me 100 people or less. Well, just by being a good listener, I already know that I have a few packages to offer that's going to be best for them because she already told me that it's going to be 100 people or less. And then you ask questions like, was there going to be alcohol at the event? These are important things to know so that you're not just jumping into the deep end of the pool. You have a better understanding of what's going on, who's going to be there, how many people is going to be there, are they dancers, are they not? All of those things are going to be the tricks up your sleeves, basically, so that you can be able to give your client the best value offer that you possibly can. So that's super huge, being a good listener so that you can be a great communicator. I will also say market yourself. That's probably the third thing that I'll recommend. You got to be a great marketer to yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. It's important for you to expose your own self, building your brand and exposing your brand. That's what it is. If you have, some cool things that you did in the past, you have some cool highlights that you did in the past. Those are cool things that people want to see, and I recommend posting it on social media. Um, I currently I'm currently managing about 4 different platforms, all on my own, and I'm marketing myself as much as I possibly can because, again, you just never know. One of those apps can be the client that I'm looking for. Some of the apps that I would recommend you getting yourself on there to market: Facebook, I would say Instagram, definitely YouTube, of course, and then I would say Threads as well too. Those are the 4 that I recommend that you get on and start advertising yourself, start marketing yourself. Be also in the shoes of someone who's maybe receiving that message. I would say, like, if someone's always looking like they're a billboard and every time I click on their stories and it's a DJ and it's just like the same stuff or just like advertisement, I'm not really interested in that. But if you got some cool clips of you, doing a dope transition, or, you have a highlight where, the bride and groom maybe are dancing together, those are clips that people want to see because they understand like, oh, I could see myself in that same situation. And if this is the DJ that can provide that experience, then I'm going to lean more towards that individual to DJ our event. So I will always just try to think of it like, how is a client receiving this message when I post my advertisement online? That's going to be super huge for you guys and growing your community. And that's probably the next thing I want to jump into is just the community aspect of everything. It's important to understand like there's people watching you always. They may not be supporting, and that's fine, but they're watching. We all have the Instagram stories, or you check your stories and there's X amount of people viewing your stories, and then when you post something, it's like 10% of that. It's like, what the heck, where y'all at? You know what I mean? So understand people are always going to be viewers, they're always going to be watchers. It's not going to be a lot of participators, and that's completely fine. But if they're going to watch you, give them something to watch. Simple as that. And yeah, I think that's very, very powerful to know as a DJ. Like, I'm being watched. Let me give them something good to watch here, since they're going to keep tuning in anyways, even if they don't like my post. Um, so yeah, that's going to be good. I would say, as far as your community, the people that are showing you love, and they're, even if there's only one person, if it's just that one person, focus on that one person. If it's more than one, focus on as many as you possibly can and manage it. It's going to be important that they know that you got their back as they're showing that they got your back. Showing you love on your posts and things like that. So, yeah, understanding how the social media game works there. You show love, I show love, I show love, you show love. And not everybody plays that game exactly, but I will say on Threads specifically, they are really good at playing that game. So that's why I recommend that app for sure for growing your community, growing your DJ brand, because people are very interactive on that app. Um, I will also understand your style of music. I wouldn't just go into the new year thinking I'm going to play the same exact stuff that I did last year. Music is always changing, it's always evolving, and so should we. As DJs. We should be evolving always. We should never be worse. We should never be the same. We should be getting better. And if we're not getting better, then we're doing one of the other two that I just mentioned. So very important to understand like, hey, last year is last year. This year is this year. I'm going to focus on what's popping, what's popular this year, and understand that I need to work some of this into my sets. It's going to be important that you're bringing the right music to the right party. So understand who you're DJing in front of. Understand, this is an older crowd, so they probably won't like 2 Chainz, or they probably won't like Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? But understand I might have to go into my 70s bag, my 60s bag, and my 80s bag. So just deeply understanding your music is going to be huge for you in 2025. Outside of that, guys, it's going to be up to you. You got to put the work in. Nobody else going to do it for you. It's solely up to you. If this is your dream, this is what you really want to build, then it's going to be in your hands. And our hands are very cool. So we can do a lot with our hands here, as long as you believe that. And my last point that I want to bring up is just simply believe. Believe, believe, believe. It's not that hard, but it is hard at the same time. Um, don't let the outside noise bother you guys. It's going to be a very, very loud year. It's going to be a lot going on that may feel like a lot of distractions, things that may steer you away from your dream and your visions. Just understand, like, hey, I got one goal in mind. That's to get through this year a champion. And if you have that mentality, nothing's going to stop you. Guys, I hope this video helps you out there. I appreciate you tuning back in. Let's crush 2025. I'm going to repeat that. Let's crush and dominate 2025. I'm D Smooth. I appreciate you guys being here. Until the next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.